Okay, so I guess the best place to start would be to find out a little bit about Ydentic, the company, when it was formed, why, and the basics of the business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was one of the co-founders of a former large managed service provider in the Netherlands. We managed about 200 customers with more than, I think, 40,000 end users. And we managed that with only a few service desk employees. And that was only possible with a lot of standardization and automation. So by letting customers managing their own users themselves, they didn't need to call our service desk anymore. And it could help the end user better and faster because they didn't have to wait for a service desk employee opening a ticket because they have a lot of work to do every day. After another IT company acquired our company in 2014, I started a new company with a full focus on building a software platform for helping managed service providers to work more efficient in a way, well, so they can scale like we did at the former company. Because that's a best practice that we that we could get some good hold to.
Okay, and excuse me if I read out, but I think your mission statement, as on the website, is to help end users work more efficiently through simple IT management. So, what is the practicalities behind that statement? If you like, how do you make that happen?
Well, in the first place, we are helping the managed service provider to manage their customers in a standardized and efficient way, because we manage Active Directories, hybrid Active Directories, and Azure Active Directories. So multi-tenancy is one of the main focuses of our platform. And by creating a uniform process for onboarding and offboarding of customers, that saves a lot of time. And in these times where new hires are difficult to find, and we help our partners to do more with the same team. So service desk employees, they don't need a lot of IT knowledge anymore. They just use the Ydentic portal to manage all the daily IT tasks without having IT knowledge. And that's what we do, Phil.
Okay, and in terms of the platform itself, there's a range of attributes. I won't list them all because I'm sure you can remember them and talk us through. But I mean, there are things like self-service, access license management, workflows, and a couple of others. So can you basically take us step by step through the platform? What components there are, what it offers?
Yeah, when we're talking about self-service, Ydentic is automating the process of joiners, movers, and leavers in a company, and also managing daily IT tasks. And then we're talking about a password reset, granting access to resources, add an alias, add calendar rights to a user's mailbox or something, with a mainly focus on Microsoft products. And from a self-service perspective, not only the managed service provider can manage their customers, but they can also delegate access to the Ydentic portal for their customer. So the customer can do a lot of stuff themselves in a controlled way. So that's a high part of self-service. And when we're talking about access license management, well, with Ydentic, you can manage access to resources from a functional perspective. In a technical term, it's called a role-based access control. Users can have multiple roles in Ydentic, and based on that role, we grant them access to a different kind of resources like shared mailboxes, applications, file shares, SharePoint sites, Teams, and even Microsoft licenses, of course. So when you have some different users in a company, we have a normal user, we have a power user. The normal user just gets a Microsoft E3 license, and a power user gets an E5, just for example. It can all be managed from a functional perspective. So it's not technical anymore.
Okay, and then I think there are other things that maybe, I mean, I think workflows is one thing that you help folks with, the audit and reporting, and even sort of integration. So are you able to say a little bit about each of those, perhaps?
Yeah, we when we look at workflows, we have Ydentic has two parts in it. We have a key user portal, that's where you manage all the users and customers, and we have an end user portal. That's for the end user of the customer. There, they can request access to, for example, a shared mailbox. Then an approval is sent to the approver or approvers, and they need to grant access, or maybe they want to decline the request. And an approver could be a manager, a functional or technical owner of the resource. And nice part is customers, they can create their own workflows to meet the requirements of the approval process. And when we're talking about auditing, reporting, every action in a portal is logged. So these days, traceability is a big deal. We log everything performed on the platform, so you can always check who performed an action in Ydentic and why did he do that. So the traceability is very complete. And of course, customers, they can create their own reports, or they can select a predefined report that we pre-built in the platform.
Okay, yeah, and integration was the last part. So what do you do around that?
Well, we provide the possibility to integrate with software other than Microsoft, because our focus is mainly Microsoft based. So when we look at integrations, mostly these are HR integrations. So customers, they want to automate the user life cycle of employees. So we create a user in Active Directory, in Microsoft 365, in SharePoint, etc. When they move to a different department, we also move the functional roles with them. Could be one, could be more. And when they leave the company, we also deactivate, remove, or move the user to another place. So the whole identity lifecycle of the employees is managed by HR then. And from my perspective, my background, I really want that HR is in control of employee life cycles, because normally it takes a lot of time when onboarding or offboarding users, or maybe when someone needs extra access to resources. It's always, I need extra resources. It's never, can you also remove those resources? No, it's always new permissions.
And in terms of, I'm just thinking, in terms of the way the platform works, so the channel take this platform, and am I right in thinking they can either do everything for their customers with the platform, or enable the customer to more or less do everything, or maybe the likelihood is they'll meet somewhere in the middle, so the customer will sort of do a certain amount with the platform itself and maybe want the channel to provide other parts of the platform sort of function. Is that right? How does it work in practice?
Well, in the Netherlands, we have 26 partners right now, and they all have a different approach. Mostly focuses internally, because we make with Ydentic you make it more efficient, more standardized in organization. So that's a lot of efficiency, and efficiency, of course, is money. So when a service desk can use Ydentic to manage the customers better and faster, of course, they help themselves. But what we see in the last couple of years is that customers, they require that they can have a portal to manage things themselves. Because when I need to create a ticket for a service desk, I never know when it's handled by a service desk agent. So then they move the Ydentic portal also to the customer themselves.
Okay, and
is that an answer on your question,
yeah,
Phil?
no, that is that's what I was, well, I won't say hoping to hear, but that's one of the explanations I thought might be there. So no, that makes sense. And in terms of the actual sort of, I mean, you've talked about a lot of the components, what they offer, but I mean, are you able to maybe sort of summarize the business value that your platform, you know, the high level, if someone was trying to promote this platform, what would be the obvious benefits to an organization?
Well, I think that the benefits for managed service providers, that they are going to work in a standardized way. They manage all their customers in one portal, so there's no need for a lot of administrator rights on other service in their environment or on the customer environment. So security is a big thing. Also, with all the data breaches these days, you don't want to give people more access than they need. Efficiency, scalability, because every customer is managed on the same way. You can do more with the same people in your company. So it's also cost reduction. And of course, scalability, because everything is on the same way. When you need to add a new customer, you have a blueprint that you can use to onboard a new customer. So that also saves a lot of time. And when we're looking for from the employee, the employee side, mostly knowledge is in how do you say it in English? It's in the head of the technicians. And when you look at Ydentic, because we have the best practice, we already created a portal with all those daily IT stuff. It's easier to have people on a service desk side that don't have IT knowledge. So what we see a lot is that the technical guys on the service desk, they move on to the IT department to have, well, much more added value for not only for the managed service provider, but also for the customer itself.
Okay, so part of the reason for our conversation is I think Ydentic, you're based in the Netherlands, but you are looking to grow the business in other markets, I suspect in Europe at least to start with. So what are your plans, in terms of doing that?
Yeah, well, right now we have 26 partners in the Netherlands that are using the Ydentic platform, and we are looking to expand in Europe, of course. Then we're talking about Germany, United Kingdom, and the Nordics region. Their IT maturity level is a bit higher than some other countries. So there's need for the Ydentic platform. And with our channel program, well, we have a pay-per-user model that's monthly charged, and we offer the managed service providers a best practice on how they can be a scalable IT organization that's more in control of IT and of their customers. And because the platform is easy to use, so there's no need for expensive consultants. Well, and of course, we offer a wide range of trainings to get a better understanding of our platform, of course. And that's also included in the partnership.
Okay. And in terms of that expansion, I mean, are you looking for sort of resellers, VARs, whatever, to contact you directly, or are you trying to find distributors in each country, or how you sort of, what are the logistics, if you like, of rolling out? What's the plan?
Well, of course, we are looking for partners that are willing to use the Ydentic platform in a strategic way for all their customers that they are managing, because then the added value of our platform is going sky high. It's more a partner program. it's not that we are distributor to a lot of IT companies. No, we have a full focus on managed service providers, and they are going to use the Ydentic platform for themselves, or they are delegating access to their customers to also give them the benefits of a self-service portal to manage users.
Okay, and maybe if we were to have a catch up, which I'm sure we will, sort of in 6 months' time or a year's time, what would be your sort of, you must have a business. Clearly, I don't expect you to share your secrets, but I guess, what would you hope to have achieved, say, in the next 12 months in terms of the numbers you might be, partners you might be signing up in some of those locations?
Good question, Phil. Well, hopefully we could expand Ydentic to some other countries in Europe. Hopefully good partnerships, because we have a lot of discussion with our partners, also in a strategic way. So yeah, we can also show the world that it's not only a Dutch company performing only in the Netherlands, but that we also have a fit in other countries all over the world.
Okay, so we've covered a fair amount of ground. You've explained a lot about the product and your plans. Just wonder whether you've got any sort of final thoughts or comments about what you're up to, or maybe, for potential partners as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, Phil, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. And hopefully this introduction of Ydentic has triggered some managed service providers that wants to know more about a partnership. And of course, if they want to get in touch, they can reach us via our website or send me a message on LinkedIn if they think that's easier to do.
That's great. It's been lovely to chat to you, Jorn. So thanks very much indeed for your time. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Also, thank you for the opportunity.